this here now, I think. Hello, welcome to the stream. I started just a little bit early because I am pretty much ready. I know I'm ready for the first time today. What do you know? Getting my phone play open. Getting phone play out of its bag for the first time is kind of annoying. It just wants to live in its bag forever. Come on, get out of your bag. Okay. Now I get to mix the two different phone plays and hope that they play well together. Give me your water. It'll be too loud. Alright, you guys get me for just an hour. I'm only going to be working on this for an hour today. I did do a little bit of work before stream. I carved the sections out so it doesn't look as much as like an alien crab anymore. It looks more like a hammer. It really did kind of look like an alien crab, and I didn't even think about that. Oh, my hands are going to get so dirty. But there's not much you can do about that with foam clay. Your hands, your desk, everything's going to get really messy, really dirty, really fast. So you just have to accept it, wear clothing that you don't mind getting dirty. Alright. I think I might actually work with the white clay. So I put a picture up to show you guys what I'm working on right now. I kind of want to work with the white clay because I know how I need something a little bit softer. This will be good for building up the center. But I need something a little bit softer. Let's see. Here's my picture for reference for myself. And go. And I'm going to simply build up the center today. On this side, I'm going to build up here on the sides, and then I'll flip it over, let it dry, flip it over, and build it up on the other side tomorrow. And then I get to seal everything in a lot of wood glue. But before I do that, I need to sand some of the areas that after I was carving got a little grumpy. So. There's just foam clay everywhere. Just all over the place. The big thing about foam clay you guys should know is try to get as little air as possible in the bag when you seal it. It's kind of like a vacuum form bag. You want as little air as possible in there. This one there. It doesn't have a resealable bag, so I may be taking the resealable bag from the Crosby Pros. Okay. Oh yeah, this is what I needed. I needed foam clay that's softer. This is perfect. Okay. So I'm going to build around the center. Get in your little thingy. Build around the center of this and create the kind of meshy look it has. Okay. I need the foam clay to be kind of wrap around the edges of this. I want it to look smooth and nice. Let's see if it's, yeah, we're getting it all around there, which is what we want. Oh, a piece of little foam came off. That is okay. I'm gonna build this up here anyways. Get it to smooth out as much as possible. I think I'm gonna need more clay. It sounds inappropriate, but the wetter the foam clay, the better. It gets smoothed out a lot easier. You don't have to worry about working with it too fast. As long as you've got water, it's pretty malleable, so you should be okay. So like I said, as long as you're using water, it should be good. You kind of see where I'm manipulating it to take on the form that I've created here. I'm not gonna actually, yeah. Hope you guys had a good day today. Did you have anything fun or interesting happen? A lot of you returned to work, or are you still on vacation? Let me know. Let me know how your day's going. There we go. Now we're starting to get the form I'm looking for. Essentially, my goal is to recreate the shapes I cut with so there's like a hole here, so you need to make sure I keep this open. It's a kind of messed up, stretchy hole over here. Once I get to the middle part of this, I'm gonna have to do something interesting. So I'm kind of treating the foam clay like most people would treat Warbler, where I'm stretching it over the foamular and asking the foam to take the shape of the foam you are. If you've ever done any sculpting or anything like that, this is very, very close to sculpting. It is very much about manipulating the material to get it to work and function the way you expect it to and want it to. And you do have to be rather careful. It will bulk up, as is its way. So you kind of have to manipulate the material around and get it to smooth out a bit. For this, I needed to start kind of coming up here. Lower stomach. I need the material to catch just the corners. And I'm sculpting into it. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the old sculpting with foam clay day. The great thing about this weird hammer, this second hammer that Jayce has, is it's very organic. So having some softer shapes is actually okay for this one. Because his hammer has a lot of soft shapes in it. Don't mind me, I'm just over here pressing it as hard as I can against the edges here to make sure that it still gets that nice curve. There we go, now we're moving it out more. Okay. Here we go. It is doing what I need it to do now. And then the one underneath, it's pretty much completely covered in the gold goop, I call it. This hammer has, except make sure there's proper dip in here. There we go. Okay. And that kind of comes up. So this is flatter here. It's much flatter here. And then it comes up into there. This is a lot more strenuous than you think. My hands are going to get very tired very fast, which is why I am being cognizant of my time, my working time here, because I have to make sure that the other side comes out just the same. Thankfully, like, the good thing about this is that the hammer actually has like a really harsh line in the center, so when I bring this foam clay down, this part comes here into like a sharp point right here. Alright. Let's see if I can just grab some more foam clay, dip it in water, make it work. You guys are quiet today, but I see you watching. That's okay. I'm not gonna complain. You probably just got off work or going to eat dinner, and this is that time of night where most people are feeding themselves, so I completely understand why you're so quiet, and it is okay. It doesn't bother me. You do you. Well, I aggressively sculpt some clay to as I want it to melt like this crazy hammer melts. crazy hammer. Here we go. Great the kind of divots it gets. The hardest part of this is going to be making sure it is mimicked exactly the same on the other side, which I can only do after this side dries. So we'll see what happens. Okay. That seems good. Need to make sure it fills in right perfectly where the gap is, so that it has like the perfect seam. Okay, getting progress here, so you can see. There you go. I don't know if you can see the textures so far. Oh, this is going too far on this side. Okay, hang on. Let me turn this around. This has gone too far down here, so I need to get my sculpting implements and make sure that stops. Should put my sculpting tools here for now. So I want it to only go right where the seam is. And let go. Let go. Come on. I cut you for a reason. There you go. Not starting to behave. Come on. Start going up more. There. Oops. Gotta be careful. So I created this. Okay. Creating a hammer that looks like it's been melted into a whole other form is still very daunting for me. This is a very dramatic hammer, and I was really nervous because all the people that I've seen make it have done like only 3D printing, yeah, actually no, it's all 3D printed. I don't think I've seen a single one made out of foam, but I really wanted it made out of foam because I wanted something a bit more lightweight. And I kind of wanted to make my own pattern. I bought a printout from GA Labs Cosplay and Props, but the printout wasn't the right scale for what I needed because it's scaled for how like big Gail's hammer, or Gail, I've been playing too much Baldur's Gate, Jayce's hammer. Jayce's hammer is, and unfortunately, I'm neither as tall, nor as big, nor capable of wielding such a dramatic prop. And I am, and I even have a lot of friends that are of the same belief that if you can't comfortably carry the prop with you at the event, you probably should not be wielding that prop, or you should look at scaling it to fit your form and function, like to fit what you're capable of carrying, right? So that is essentially my goal with Jayce's hammers. So the first one I made, I purchased a pattern for, and then I scaled it down, but I also modified the appearance of it because I'm not doing, like, I'm not swapping sexes. I am just being female in Jayce's clothing. And so I had to modify the clothing design, and I had to modify a few things to fit me comfortably. and to also fit my proportions. So the hammer was one of the things that had to get modified to fit my proportions. Okay. I gotta start. Put some clay on the inside of this real fast. A little bit of foam clay goes a long way. Oops, sticks to my thumb too, apparently. It's decided it likes me more than it wants to be on the foamular. That's not gonna work, foam. We gotta go on the foamular. We have to make little foamular babies. A few people have noted, I have a hiccup and a burp. That's fun. Not on the chat, but a few people have noted when they were seeing me create that I sculpt mostly my left hand, and I write with my right hand. And that is because I was left-handed growing up, but schools made me use my right hand. So overall, I'm definitely more comfortable with using my left hand, but I can use both, and that honestly makes this so much faster when you can use both of your hands to sculpt. Makes it a more agreeable looks cool though. I like how this is coming out. I just really hope I can do the other side justice, because yeah, this is the tricky thing about having to sculpt two different sides and not having a mold for it. But hey, it's gonna be sturdy. It's gonna be very sturdy. Like very sturdy. Between the foam clay and everything else I'm putting on this thing, it's super sturdy. Alright, there's another, this one has like a big gapy hole thing that goes up to here. And then it has another one on the inside here. Okay. So I need to move this clay around a little bit to kind of make it look like it's got like another little texture thing. Smooth that out. Sorry, my head's blocking everything. This is tricky to get. Okay. There. So that's the hole that needs to be there, but that one doesn't. So I need to see if I can try to make this smoother here. Push some of this around. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Okay. There's the weird little mutation thingy it has right there. Okay, and then it has a big one. It goes up. Okay. Right. I might add some like weird little mutation thingies where I see fit. You know, why not? I might have to buy another bucket of foam clay from Michael's. Just buy all the foam clay from Michael's and nobody has it. I'm sorry if you live in Tempe. It's my fault. If you don't have any foam clay, it's probably me. I'm probably the one that took all the foam clay from Michael's. Okay. So I kind of want to start it over here because there's a lot more of this on this side. I almost knocked my phone over. All right. Relaxing little lo-fi music, you know? Gotta have that chill music while you're doing really stressful things. Get in there, little sculpting. There we go. Okay. And that's supposed to be thinner there, but then bulkier here. Okay. I might have to move my phone because this is. I keep almost knocking it over, so I think I'm gonna put it here. You gonna stay there? Okay. Really? You're being crazy. There. Okay. We can use the reference image. Hello. Looking over the camera and smiling at you guys like you can even see my face. I'm special, it's fine. I know how cameras work, apparently. Somewhere deep inside my brain. Okay. I need to kind of put the base of this down first so I can get this. This is gonna go. Sides do have much more bulk on this, so I'm gonna have to add more bulk. Ugh, there we go. Okay. Hello. Welcome to the stream. The Thermo makes a crazy hammer out of foam stream. Okay. Now we're getting there. This is gonna take me days to sculpt. By days, I mean like, see, phone, you are being a brat. Just there, stay there so I can see you for reference. Huh? Okay, so it goes here, and then this comes up like this. Thank you. Nuts. It's nerve-wracking, I will tell you that. It's crazy to try and sculpt this weird... This hammer's got some weird shapes in it. Some very weird shapes. Okay. I'm gonna have to sculpt it like this for a second so I can see. It's like, this kind of comes into here like that, and this will come in like that. So it's more of like this. Okay, and then that comes in, and then there's another little weird thingy up here, and that comes down. And then I think that's I think the squigglies are close enough. Okay. There's the weird hammer squigglies. Oh, thank you. I believe in myself sometimes. It's mostly because this is like, you know, if I wasn't competing in this, I really wouldn't care that much. I wouldn't be, I mean, I would care, but I wouldn't be as like freaking out as much. But because I decided, I mean, again, if I don't get this done on time, this was just like it'd be a nice to have. I didn't have it the first time I competed, and the skit was fine without it. But I just thought it'd be kind of cool to introduce it since the skit does have us doing some crazy quick change stuff, so I thought that might be kind of good to do. Okay, so now I need to take a lot of this thick stuff I have here and I need to build it up along the sides, like here. Okay, let's rotate this around now. I'm just pulling the clay down into the crevices so that the stuff that does exist has more of a purpose and not because of, you know, cutting issues with my knife. Okay. And YouTube, before you freak out, it's not that kind of cutting. It's crafting. Pull your jets, YouTube. Because YouTube likes to do weird stuff. I have to push so hard on this one. Okay. I think I've got it to seal. Okay. Any very organic shape with foam clay, very easy, but creating it for a hammer feels so counterintuitive right now. Oh crap, oh, and of course went away. You know, fine. I'll just look at the picture there. We're allowed to have some creative liberties here. I mean, it's my hammer. I can do what I want with it, right? The excess to kind of come this way. It's fighting me. Come on, excess. I need you to come over here. This to smooth. This needs to be another corner. Where's my little cutter? Alright, come here. It's fighting me, so I need you to take the excess off. There you go. Get that foam clay. Show it who's boss. Come on, sculpting tools. Help me out. Foam clay? Stop misbehaving. Okay. There. Alright, now we're making progress. There we go. Now we can put excess kind of more away from the center and outward like I was trying to do. There we go. Gotta hold the clay, you gotta cradle the clay. Cradle it and bring it up. Okay. We are very nearly done with this top portion here, and then we'll do the bottom. And then we'll let the top side dry, and then I get to do the other side. Try to make these as pointy as possible so it has more of the liquid metal kind of look. Gotta be like a spiky spike. Spike is important. go. Good. And there. Now we can actually get like a proper point up here without it being too crazy. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Hard part is going to be bringing this portion out. Okay, so I need to bring it out more. Not a whole lot more, but enough to give it like some chunk. Go. All right. So I need to pull, I think I need to pull some more of this off. Okay. Sculpt with my right hand now because my left hand keeps bumping into the areas that I've already sculpted, and I can't run the risk of damaging those areas because I've done a good job with them. So I have to go switch to the right hand now, which is not my favorite hand to sculpt with, but it will do. And when we get to the latter part of this, I'll have to put it on the little PVC pipe I have. I have a shorter one so that I can let it dry. Okay, you clearly need more water because you should not be doing that. This part is frightening me. Okay. I don't know why you're fighting so hard. I just need you to cover the sides so that we can create cool. And the sides of this are a little bit more chunky, so like I said, what I'm going to do once I've got enough of the foam clay on here, is I'm going to put it on that little PVC pipe, the short one that I have, mount it on there, and then sculpt the sides while it's, probably put it on like a wig head or something, so I can sculpt the sides of it. Getting to the point, which I will exaggerate more once I get the other side finished. So I don't want to exaggerate this until I've got the other side covered in foam too. All right. Get this. There we go. That looks better. Okay. Contour section here somehow, so that should be fixed. Okay. There we go. Yay! Making progress. Okay. It's getting there. It's so much work though. Upside foam clay, easy to work with. The downside to foam clay, a lot of freaking work. Like with any clay, to be honest, it's always going to be a lot of freaking work. I'm getting water all over my pants. The good thing that I have pretty much everything else done, save some like really minor modifications. I have to make off it, so it'll only take like, I don't know, a couple hours if that. But my goal is to have this sculpted and ready for sealing. That's the word I'm looking for. Sculpted and ready for sealing. Hopefully by Saturday. If I don't have it by then, I'm not gonna rush this too much, but okay. That actually looks really good. All right, so there's some excess on here that I need to trim off. I think I've got a sharper trimming tool here. I think it might be this one's the super sharp one. There we go. Yeah. I'm not worried if there's a little excess on the inside because the in-game image and the show image have it as like a little, like I said, a little chonky on the inside and the outside a little bit. So I don't mind if that's there. I mostly want to pull these big areas because I do have to create a seam. The hammer does actually show a seam. Interesting enough. Okay. All right. That's sculpted. Okay, this part is not as smooth as it needs to be. I'm noticing that this is way too squishy. I need it to be more smooth. So we'll make it more smooth. Bring it up to its point here. Nicer. Okay, I like that. Looks cool. Okay. I think I've got enough time. We've been streaming almost an hour. I think I've got just enough time to finish the bottom part of this thing, which I need my picture. It's my picture. I think show the bottom part of it. As having just a top thing and the rest of it's covered in clay. Okay, great. Okay. Do it. Yeah, I'm gonna probably get like, I think I'm gonna get 2 more pieces or 2 more foam buckets. So tomorrow we'll sculpt this side of it and then I'll let it dry for a day on both sides. Might even put it outside because it's warm outside and the sun will help it cure faster. Okay. There's just like a little bit here, so this one only has. Okay. So right here it has like a point. Point here, and the rest of it's pretty smooth. Okay, let's see how much I can stretch. Okay, so it's up to there. There, we'll do that. That's going to be the cutout for this one. That is how it will look. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm absolutely going to need to get 2 more of these white foam clays because I need to use the black foam clay to fix the make the big stiff. Sounds so inappropriate. The stiff parts. I'm sorry, guys. Apparently, I don't know how to say appropriate. Things been sculpting. No, gnat, go away. I found a little gnat. There's a gnat in my house. Get out of my house. Get away from me. I'm sculpting. Go away, gnat. Okay. This is kind of, this one's more of the, it's like very square. So I need to make it very square. Okay, we're getting there. All right. Pull off this excess. I don't need all of this. There's more in here than I actually need, so I'm gonna start pulling it this way. Hold down, down. There we go. And back, back, back. Straight inside. Do do do. Hey, kitty. Oh, I didn't want to say hello. Bye, kitty. Normally he comes over and says hello to you guys, but today he decided that he was going to go off on his own, do whatever his cats do when they go off on their own. Go to Narnia, maybe? I feel like cats have to go visit other realms because sometimes they just really disappear in your house and you're like, where's my animal? They are well and truly gone, but then they appear a few hours later and you're like, where the heck have you been this whole time? I've looked everywhere, under the bed, in the closets, and they're like, I've been here this whole time. Sure, I believe cats, pretty sure they travel to different realms, and I'm gonna stick to that. Alright, we're so close to being done sculpting phase 1. Okay, I need to trim off a little bit more, so I do have a little too much here. Okay, I get the curve in this one because it's got a strong curve. There we go. And then I'll cut the excess off of it later. I can tell that my headphones are starting to wear out because they're making funny noises as they play music, which is never a good sign. Okay. Get that sharper cutter again for the, where is it? This one, yeah. Okay. Come on. Get smoothed out. I know, you have to fight me on smoothing out. Go. Okay. Great. There's definitely going to be too much on the side, so we'll get it pulled over and smoothed out. And then I'm so close to having this side smooth to the point I want it to be. I kind of wanted it to be like that. There we go. Might switch the music here in a second if I think this is going to take me any longer, because I'm like, I don't know if I can listen to the same soundtrack again. Okay. It's kind of like need like a tiny piece. Okay. This. Okay, so we've got okay. This is looking good. Okay. There's definitely too much in this one, so I'm gonna just start pulling it out of that one. Okay. This is where it gets tricky. So I'm trying really hard not to destroy what's underneath the structure that gives it all the really cool shape. Oops, I left my thumbprint in there. Okay. I wonder how many cosplay thumbprints are in like props. You know, because of how much work it goes into like creating and manhandling them basically. Like you gotta do so much to get it to work properly. There's definitely gotta be a lot of like thumbprints and fingerprints and props. Probably even in movie sets and stuff, I would think. Like how much sculpting is done for stuff. So, ooh, look at that. Let's trim this a little bit. It's gonna be interesting talking to the judges. Like, how did you make this? Well, through and took some insulation foam meant for houses, and made a pattern using some Sharpies, and I cut out multiple layers, super glued them together. Then I put a whole bunch of foam clay on here. Enough foam clay to make several costume pieces. And yeah, the end. That's how I imagine it going. Okay, get out of my way, sculpting tool. Well, that means it's 7 o'clock. Let's take my medicine soon. Forgot that I started streaming a little bit before 6 o'clock. So that means we've been on stream for what, an hour and 20 minutes? Hour and 15 minutes? Has it really been that long? Wow. That's crazy. Okay. Well, I think this is as smoothed out as I'm gonna get it. For at least this particular portion. And then when I do the other side in a few days, it should look pretty nice. Get some. Okay, looking pretty good here. Got that all tucked in there. Oh, I didn't tuck any foam into that portion. There we go. And you're gonna get modified anyways, but. Okay. There. Alright, so this foam clay needs to have some water put on it before I store it. so that when it gets stored, it's nice and moist. All right, I'm gonna place an order to get more Michael's foam clay. Really, why aren't you closing? Is this the right lid? Is this not the right lid? That's right. It's not the right lid. It was not that difficult before because I was using the wrong lid. Okay. This is what we sculpted for today. Is 1/2 of a very. Gotta get all the water off of this. All right. Here we go. Try this here. Okay. We have 1/2 complete. It actually looks really cool. It's pretty wild. Show you guys. So you can see. So we've got 1/2 done. And then we'll start working on the other half tomorrow. So thank you guys for joining me on the stream today. I will be on stream again tomorrow from 6 to 7 or maybe 5:45 to 6, depending on how quickly I get done with work and my chores in the day. But other than that, I really appreciate you guys joining me. I need to pour this water out because otherwise I will probably forget, and that would be a problem. And my hands stayed relatively clean considering how much sculpting I was doing. The white clay is not nearly as messy as the darker clay, so I need to... It's also a little bit easier to see some of the details on, so... Yeah. This looks cool. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap for today. I thank you again for all of your time, and I will see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Have a good night. Take care.